talk to you about B&G Marine Electronics, supposedly a leader in the industry. If you've been following the channel, you know that RockChalk's been up on the hard for about 3.5 years doing a major refit. Part of that major refit was redoing all the marine electronics. I decided to go with B&G. Seemed like a good plan, a good group of products aimed at the sailor. So I purchased a Vulcan 9R multifunction display, B&G wind instrument, B&G depth, speed, and water temperature, along with a radar. All installed, and to this day, the only B&G product that works is the multifunction display, and I'm not even sure it works. My wind has never worked, and my depth has never worked. So let me go over the installation and show you what I've got. Show you that I have other items on my Nema 2000 network that are working fine, and then I'll tell you what happened when I attempt to get some support from B&G. So I want to share my Nema network with you. Here you can clearly see the backbone with each individual drop labeled. Also, you can see the new VHF radio. It's got AIS and it's showing targets. There's my Vesper Marine Watchmate. It's showing targets. So the network is clearly working. There's my old Lowrance HDS5. It's showing targets. Off there to the left, that little flashing light, that's a Yacht Devices Nema 2000 router. It's receiving data. Behind the radio there is a SciTech AIS. That's giving all of your marine information for AIS. It's transponding across the network. I also have a Precision 9 compass. It's hooked into the Nema network and it's providing data. The network is working. The very odd thing about this network is nothing with B&G on the label is working. Here you can see my DTS 200 properly installed, single cable running to the background, not even showing up on the network. Now here we are in the engine room, a little bit fuzzy here, shot this on the fly, but here you can see my Marine Nema 2000 gateway. It's reporting all of my data for tanks, fuel, water, voltage, everything's working on there. Now, let's move down here to the end of the backbone on the Nema 2000 network. That green light you see, that shows that the voltage is good all the way at the end of the network. So there's no voltage problem on the network whatsoever. Also, you notice all the drops are properly labeled. There's nothing wrong with the network. Now, moving over here. Back there is the black box for the motor. It's transmitting data. The network works. Okay, here we are topside up at the B&G multifunction display. Let's go down to the network settings. Take a look at the device list. Boom, here we have the device list. You scroll up and down. Nowhere on this list will you find any B&G equipment registering on the network. I can go to everything else on my network and pull data up. It doesn't matter. It all transmits. B&G equipment simply is not showing up. Your equipment is supposed to work together with itself. That's the minimum. Look at there. There's the data from the Marine. All of it scrolling up there, flowing across that network. Nothing wrong. It's unconscionable that your equipment is this poorly put together and your customer support is this unbelievably bad. Just unconscionable. B&G, Navico Marine, what are you going to do? Or is it you just don't care about your people? You got their money, you've gone to the bank. I don't need to deal with you anymore. Unacceptable. Absolutely, unequivocally unacceptable. Keep looking. Scroll through here. Data shows up all the time. There's nothing wrong with the network. It's your product. I challenge you to do something about it. Now it's 11 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. I call the B&G support line. I'm number 4 in the queue. It's now 1:30 in the afternoon. I've advanced all the way to number 1 in the queue, and their system cuts me off. I call back. I'm in the queue again. Imagine this, I'm number 4. 5:30 in the afternoon, I've advanced all the way to next in the queue. It's now 7:15. If you do the math, I've been on the phone with B&G for 8.5 hours waiting to get tech support. I get cut off because it's the end of the workday for them. I understand the end of the workday, but do you have such little appreciation for your customer base that you can keep them on the phone for 8.5 hours? 8.5 hours, man. That is unacceptable. Getting cut off. If I spend thousands of dollars with your company, I expect a little customer support, a little consideration. You have nothing but disdain for the customer, and it's apparent that way. There's no way you can have somebody on hold for 8.5 hours and call that customer support. It's not that way with every company out there. Let me give you an example. Blue Guard. They make digital float switches. I called them. The customer support line was asked to leave a voicemail. I assumed I would get cut off and nobody would ever call me back. I got called back in under a minute and a half. And I've called them several other times. They've been incredibly responsive. So I guess small companies that want to do good business can also have good customer service. Navico brands, B&G, you suck. If that's your definition of customer support, you're not going to get my money. My system still doesn't work, but yet you've taken my cash. Think about it. This is how you're going to treat people? I'll make it my life effort to tell everybody I know about your poor customer service. We may be a small channel here, but I tell hundreds of people how bad you are, and I'm going to do it until you fix the problem. Signing out.